Why did you click on this video? Was it the title, the thumbnail, or because you expected something completely different? I'm going to help you get views and subscribers to your channel in a lengthy, useful and detailed video which I'm hoping you can stick around for. And no, I'm not just going to say a lot of common sense stuff. Instead, I'm going to explain what that stuff is and why that stuff matters in major detail. Firstly, let's look at an estimated breakdown of how much each element of the video matters. As you can see, the description, tags, likes and shares all have a 6% impact on the video. The title and comments have 12%, while closed captions, whether the video is new or not, and playlist videos all have 18% impact on video views. Now we're going to talk about target audience. This is probably the most important factor in deciding what to upload to your channel, because it defines the size, gender, interest, ages and nationality of the people who view your content, which in turn determines your content, when you upload, what language you upload in, and the overall look and style of your channel. The best performing videos are those with wide audiences, which compete with the fewest other channels. In one way, audience size divided by competition equals your overall audience. So you may think a gaming channel has a large audience, but when you divide it by the amount of competition you have, then it's easy to see why your channel is not competing with much more well-established rivals. Most people know how to make videos with good lighting, camera angles, continuity, cutting, etc. But let's face it, you could film a man walking across a field in the best way possible, and it would still be a man walking across a field. What really matters, and what really only ever mattered, even in the early days of YouTube, was the physical scenery within the video and the remarkability of the video. Remarkability means the video's ability to be made again, or to have been seen before. Admittedly, some things can become viral which are seemingly unremarkable, but you must also remember the target audience for those viral videos might not be you. In those cases, also the titling, topic or general appeal of all viral videos is unique, and that's why they are viral. They are almost always containing real people or animals. But predicting a viral video before you upload it, or uploading regular viral hits, is not a good solution for views on your channel. Instead, you should concentrate on showing off your unique skills, talents and interests in your unique way, but that which appeals to your audience. The broader the scope of your content, the larger the audience you can get. Watch time. As you may or may not know, YouTube values your content not just in how many views you get, but its watch time. Watch time does not just mean minutes watched, it means the amount of views, the view duration, when people start staying on your channel, how regularly you upload, when YouTube session ends, and how long people spend on your channel. Essentially, YouTube is trying to keep its views on its site for as long as possible, and if your channel does that, it will reward you. What's also important is to get many views. If it gets more views in the first few minutes, hours and days, this is what we call view velocity. Now let's look at my channel. It looks at the amount of video length my videos have against the percentage of people that have viewed it. And as you can see, the better the video, the higher the bar in general is going to be up. Now, ideally you want more blue bar than red bar, but in longer videos, such as in my last How to Get Subscribers YouTube's Fast video, the length affects the percentage that you get from people watching it. But nonetheless, that percentage, 14% of 20.58 minutes, is bigger than 36% of 4 minutes 31, for example. So that bar is still quite high, and YouTube will reward that video a lot more than it will reward my shorter videos. But equally, if I make a short video and it gets shared a lot, such as my Toy Story video, the percentage of people that view that video will be huge, but the red bar on top won't be as high, so it won't reach as high as the longer video. So having a longer video is by all means more beneficial to your channel because it keeps people on your channel longer, and YouTube will reward your channel more for producing longer videos. That doesn't necessarily mean you should produce videos of great length all the time, because if you get lots of videos with lots of length and nobody comes to watch them, or everybody just clicks on it, discovers what it is and clicks straight off at the same time, then YouTube will penalize your channel for that. So you can't cheat the system, but if you produce good quality videos that are of a good length, then you can gain an audience for your videos. So this graph looks at the total views on the video versus the views in the first 48 hours. And what it shows is that pretty much if you get a good hit in the first 48 hours, more or less you will achieve good overall lifetime views on that video. Now there are odd exceptions, such as here and here, but that more or less increases. It's more predictable when you've got views in the first 48 hours. This graph was also showing me the time at which to upload. So I noticed that in the morning hours, not a lot of people seem to view my content, whereas between about midday onwards, I seem to get more views in the first 48 hours than otherwise. Now that might be because that's just generally when I've been uploading, or it might be just because my audience are on YouTube are at this time. But you can clearly see a big dip here where users aren't on in the morning hours. This graph shows my subscriber count at the time of uploading my content. So you can see at the beginning of my channel, when I uploaded all these videos together, it didn't really do much to my subscriber count, and those videos didn't really get any exposure and haven't got very many views either. Whereas here is where everybody starts coming from my old channel, and that's where that little peak is there. And then slowly it starts building as I upload regularly. Here is where I started going on other people's channels and commenting on there, and that's where my first surge of people came from. And then it kept rising and rising, and then as this week where I had a week off, you can see it flattens out majorly, and my subscriber count pretty much stays, it flattens right out here. And it took me another big surge of commenting on other people's channels to make it grow again, and then a third big surge to get it to where it is today. So that just shows that you should upload regularly if you want to gain subscribers. The more subscribers you gain, the more percentage of people will view your content from those subscribers. So if you have a bigger subscriber count, you're more likely to get more people from those subscribers. Your YouTube only promotes your content to a percentage of subscribers depending on who views in the first few minutes, hours and days. So if you have a good video that's valuable to your subscribers, then it will get a lot of views, but you've also got to have a lot of subscribers for that to get a lot of views, and it's very unlikely that it will pass your subscriber count. If it does, then it's doing exceptionally well. So this graph shows that as my likes increase, the dislikes kind of increase, particularly in this middle area. There's a big kind of lump towards more dislikes. What you don't want to have is more dislikes than likes, like I've got here. You want to have, like here, more likes than dislikes. So this graph shows the average views of subscribers in the first 48 hours of the date that channel was, the date the video was uploaded on the channel, and the percentage of subscribers to views. The Bubblecar song has a huge peak from where I basically advertised the video through Google advertising, and that's where that huge peak of new users come from. Whereas this video here is viewed a lot by subscribers. It shows a lot of blue because obviously you're all clicking on that throughout the week. So this graph shows the amount of views I got in the first 48 hours of uploading on every video, and you can see that the best performing videos are the best performing videos for life, really. But you can see a trend as my subscriber increases, generally up, and there's two peaks. One is the Bubblecar song, which I said I advertised, and the other is Watermelon Dance, which I believe I advertised as well, and it was the first kind of surge of people that I tried to get to subscribe, so that's maybe why that went high in the first 48 hours. It also shows that even though I have good video length and percentage of video views on, for example, Toy Story Meets Dory and the Potato Song and I'm Going Away for a Week, it doesn't necessarily reflect on the views in the first 48 hours, which means that there was something about the title, the description, and the video itself that got the Bubblecast song and Watermelon Dance that kind of exposure. This exposure is more down to the fact that I was regularly uploading and I have more subscribers to expose to. Also, I was doing a lot more kind of surge, sharing my content, commenting on other people's channels at this point. So this graph looks at the average views in the first 48 hours of various video topics. So I took my videos, I looked at the views in the first 48 hours, and I averaged out what topics they covered. And obviously some videos cover different topics, so I basically just put that data in two different categories and averaged it out. So I found that videos which covered just my voice did better than any video that had me in it. That's because most of the videos that have just me in it are me just talking about hello, I'm back, or hello, I'm going away, or they're not really anything of any value to my subscribers apart from just updates. I obviously found that politics didn't perform well at all, as expected, and comedy is doing well, as expected. That's the main basis of my channel. Eugenia Cuny performed well because that was a trending topic, so anything that's majorly trending and related to YouTube does well, whereas politics and Donald Trump didn't do quite so well. My name didn't do quite so well, and the Fluttering Kite, because it was uploaded late and uploaded in a cluster of videos, did poorly. TV again hasn't done great. I thought it would do better than that, but I guess the lifetime views of some of my mashups have done better over time. Toy Story has done well. As you can see, the best performing bar here is the dance video, the Watermelon Dance I did. I believe I advertised that, hence why that's peaking. How-to videos seem to do well. It gets above 50. And again, animation seems to do very well. If I make a video about that's animated. People really seem to appreciate that. And any kind of song as well does very well. So if I do a song that's animated about Toy Story, but only using my voice with Eugenia Cooney in it, hopefully I should have a good video. So also, you guys obviously like long videos, so maybe I'll get to one day making a longer animation. But the problem with animation is frequency of upload. YouTube rewards you for uploading frequently, as you saw in my subscriber graph. It showed that the more frequently I uploaded, the larger the peaks on my subscriber line there. So this graph shows the lifetime views against the topic of the video, and it shows that actually, even though just my voice was peaking in the 48 hours, not me at all peaks long term. Again, comedy I'd expect, because comedy is the basis of my channel. Politics, again, I'd expect to be low, as is Donald Trump, because he comes under the politics. That fluttering kite stuff was a big trend a few weeks ago, so that did well. TV does fairly well. Lifetime, Toy Story. Obviously, a lot of people are searching for Toy Story online. That dance video again does well. Animation does well. Mashups do well, and any kind of song does well. Things that do badly, or anything miscellaneous, that trailer I've got doesn't do well. Anything that's not song does worse than songs. Reaction videos don't do as well as some of the other stuff, or even how-to videos. So I'm not really expecting this video to get a lot of views, but I will try and optimize it, just to try and see if the data I've recorded today makes any sense. So this is taking a look at average views in the first 48 hours of the video titling. So I discovered that anything that contains the word song in it does well. Anything that contains the word dance in it does well, or how to in it does well. Also, subscriber. You guys like to know how to get subscribers, so anything that contains that as well. Also, creative titles. So if I'm making, for example, the Bubblecar song or Chicken Wire song, you guys will gravitate towards that as maybe something new. The problem with those is it's difficult to get them to latch onto anything trending, or get them to be somewhat searchable without it just being a random title. So this graph looks at my video thumbnails, and as you can see, I have found out that actually no text here does better than text. I think that's because my Watermelon Dance and Bubblecar song are both no text. But from most advice videos online, text is the better option. I think it leads people in more. And it's only a very marginal difference. Like, the difference between these, if you look at the scale, is minimal. I found that images from the internet did better. Anything with me in it, mainly because it turned out to be a video of me just talking, tended not to do as well. I also found that two colours did better than more than two colours. So if I keep my thumbnail style to just two colours, it will perform better than anything that's super colourful or just an image. Also, it's much better to perform a thumbnail that's custom made than to just have the automatic video generated ones that YouTube provides. So always make your own thumbnails. So this graph looks at description characters versus views in the first 48 hours. So as you can see, the more description characters you have doesn't necessarily equate to having greater views in the first 48 hours, but YouTube does reward you for having some description. The more detailed and more relevant to your video you can make that description, the better. But as here, this comes from when I put a load of links in my last video about subscribers, my first 50 subscribers. So you guys appreciate that because you wanted to get subscribers, but it doesn't necessarily reward me with views in the first 48 hours. You guys kind of grew to that over time, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I get a huge surge here. It's more that having some kind of description gets you views, whereas having no description gets you, or these are just like one sentence descriptions, gets you very few views in the first 48 hours. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more about analysing your channel, please check the link in the description below.